Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another Clash Royale video, and today I have a guide for you guys to reach the Legendary Arena, because Legendary Arena is always awesome. It is, of course, the best spot for you to get some legendary cards. It has the highest amount of percentage of which you can actually get a legendary card from maybe a super magical chest or maybe a magical chest or any other chest. The highest number of chance you're getting a legendary card is, of course, the Legendary Arena. So it is definitely a arena to enjoy and get those legendary cards in your arsenal. So it's definitely going to help you a lot. So it's always been a big task for people to actually come into the Legendary Arena, because it's not easy, and that's the reason why we actually have this video to showcase you some of the tips which will make sure you're gonna get to the Legendary Arena. So before we actually delay any further, I'm gonna say you just subscribe to the channel, leave a like if you enjoy this video, and make sure you click on the bell notification icon so that you don't miss any of my Clash of Clans or Clash Royale content as soon as I put them. So the first tip I'll give is select a deck that actually you are comfortable with. So the first and probably the most simple one you actually have to follow is that you need to select a deck that you are really good at. So if a friend, someone from your friend list has a golem deck, a golem beatdown deck, and if he gets to the Legendary Arena, that doesn't mean you're gonna get there too, because he is comfortable with it, but then you're not. He knows how to use the deck probably the right way it should be, but then you actually don't know the way it actually has to be. So then it actually comes to going to any arena. If you're actually climbing up, then you actually have to select a deck that suits you the most. So make sure you're selecting the right deck. If it's actually a X-Bow cycle deck, make sure you select that. If it's a spell bait deck, select that. If it's a golem beatdown deck, choose that. You're not gonna make sure that you're gonna select what your friend has got, that he has got to the Legendary Arena. You're gonna select which suits you the most. The next one, and pretty much the obvious one to make sure that you're gonna win, is to have counters in your deck. So when it actually comes to the Legendary Arena, a lot of troops that you're gonna face are maybe the the elite barbarians. Of course, you're gonna find tons of them. You're gonna find hog riders, you're gonna find giant skeletons, you're gonna find P.E.K.K.A, you're gonna find maybe some other cool cards like maybe the Prince, for suppose. These are the cards you're actually gonna find over here. So you need to have a counter for them. You need to make sure that you're actually gonna defend them if they're just gonna come in. You also might find in a golem. So when it actually comes to these kind of cards, you need to have a counter for it. A counter, I mean cards that can take down these troops relatively easier from any other card you actually have. So make sure you're selecting a particular card for any card. So say if the opponent is coming up with a golem, or maybe maybe with a P.E.K.K.A, then you need to have the Inferno Dragon, because the Inferno Dragon, once locked on, is going to take down any tank no matter what. And if the opponent is coming up with maybe the Elite Barbarians, I'd say the Goblin Gang or maybe the Mega Knight would probably do the job as well. So these are the characters I'd say for any troop you actually will be going through. So make sure you check out some replays, make sure you're seeing out the TV Royale where you can actually see which card they're actually using the most, so that you're prepared for that card just in case you see them. The third tip I'd give is to level up the cards you're actually gonna use. So once you're done with selecting the deck that suits you the most, then you need to select the cards which you actually have to upgrade as well. So make sure you're upgrading them, make sure they're not under level. If they are under level, then probably the guys who have a decent level card will easily take them down, and that is something you definitely would not want on your side to happen. So make sure you're actually upgrading the cards. So that is really important. Make sure you select the right deck that suits you, and then make sure you upgrade those cards so that you can at least have a chance of actually winning against a higher player if you just come across him. So another tip is to not play Clash Royale when you're actually stressed out. So if you're really a horrible day for you, maybe it's the work or maybe it's the college, school, whatever it is, and if you're not comfortable, if you're really angry at something, just don't play Clash Royale. It's definitely going to ruin your day, because sometimes you're just going to lose, and that is just going to turn your whole day into a nightmare. It's definitely going to be a horrible day after that. So definitely don't go into a battle when you're not in the mood of actually playing it, or maybe actually stressed out in the day. Rather just play Heyday, that would be much better, but then never play Clash Royale when you're actually stressed out. So the next tip I'd give is use a deck that is suited for ladder. Now what is ladder? Ladder is basically trophy pushing. So if you take a deck that is good for maybe a the Clan Wars, or maybe a beat down deck or something like that, then it is not gonna help you the most. But then decks that are used specifically for trophy pushing are the ones you actually would be needing. You would not be selecting a 2vs2 deck, or maybe any other deck, maybe a triple elixir deck or something like that. Those are not the ones that are actually going to help you. Rather, only the decks that are used for ladder, meaning trophy pushing, are the ones you actually need to select. So make sure you're selecting the right ones. That will definitely be the one you actually want to use. And if you're wondering what deck I use to actually come up to the legendary arena, it is the Witch Prince deck, which I do love the most, and it is the best until date. So definitely give it a try if you can. It is the Witch, the Prince, the Goblin Gang, the Inferno Dragon, the Ghost, the Rocket, and the Zap, and then the other one would be the Fire Spirit. So these are the cards you would be needing for the very deck itself. It's a really cool deck. I actually have a video on that, so you can just go ahead and check that out if you want to. So another tip which I actually would give is a kind of like a thing which a lot of people actually believe, which is completely not true, and they think that they need to have a legendary card in order to reach the legendary arena. Trust me on this, there are some of my friends who actually didn't have any of those legendary cards, and they actually made it to the legendary arena. They were free-to-play players, and they definitely made it to the legendary arena, and that does make sense. So if you're thinking that you need to have a legendary card in order to get to the legendary arena, you're completely mistaken on that. You definitely will be needing a decent level of troops in order to get to the legendary arena. But then if you say that you actually will be needing legendary cards in order to get to legendary arena, you're completely wrong. Rather, just upgrade any of your cards, maybe an epic card, a common card, or anything like that. You probably will be fine and good to go. Okay, and another thing which a lot of people should not be doing is to trophy push when there are some special events, maybe like the gem event or maybe the gold rush event or something like that. That is when you actually would not be likely to go, because you're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna face much higher players, and that is something a really bad idea to get into attacking when there is a special event like that. So definitely don't go in for some attacks when there is a special event. You probably wouldn't be making to your target arena, and definitely not to legendary arena. Of course, if you're not level 11, that's not gonna help you reach that unless you have really good troops, and make sure you can actually beat those opponents. You cannot get to the legendary arena. So I'd say avoid it. I know you're losing some of the extra gems or the bonus cash which they are actually giving, but then that isn't a good idea to actually push trophies. It's probably a worse idea than you can actually think of. And another thing related to upgrading your cards, and that is one of the most things which people won't do, is to buy cards from the shop. Now, as soon as you donate, I would say the best way to get coins, I mean gold, is to donate your cards. And if you can actually donate them, you probably will be getting a decent amount of gold. And if you are in a position to find cards that you like and you would want to upgrade in the shop, just go ahead and buy that. I would say that'd be the best idea, because the shop is of course a great chance of you getting some really cool cards. If you actually find the card that you actually will be needing, you can actually go ahead and buy that out. Of course, gold will be gone, but then you can at least upgrade and get that card to an higher level. So that is something I would actually like to say. Buy the cards when you actually see them on shop. And again, if you want to if you actually want to get those cards leveled up quicker, that is, you actually have to join a clan. Now, if you're not joining a clan, you're definitely missing out some really cool opportunities of getting some cards from your clan mates, because you can actually request from either 1 card to 8 cards depending on the rarity you're actually going to select. So it is really important you actually join a clan, and you can actually get the best out of the clan itself, and you can actually upgrade the card much faster. Now remember, if you want to get to the legendary arena, the cards need to be at least to the tournament standards, at least a bit higher to the tournament standards, or not, you're gonna be definitely in some trouble. You're gonna find level 11 players who are definitely gonna have a decent level cards other than that. So if you are maybe level 8, level 9 guy coming to the legendary arena, it's definitely gonna be trouble for you. So make sure you're upgrading your cards, and in order to upgrade, you need to buy from the shop or either join the clan and request, and make sure you're joining a decent amount of decent clan which at least donates you. In that way, at least you're gonna get some cards in your way. And the last tip I probably would be giving is to not switch between decks. Now, if you're going through an opponent, if you lose an attack, and if you find out that that deck is really cool, then that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna win from that deck, because that guy is again suited from that deck. Now if you are good with a deck and just lose one battle, now you cannot just change up your mind by selecting the other deck that the opponent actually used to defeat you. It's just one guy that's actually coming towards you. So if you're comfortable with one deck, again, tip number one, if you know that your deck is suited for a ladder, then you actually have to make sure that you're selecting the same deck itself. If you're gonna switch over between decks, you definitely are gonna find out that you're not gonna be able to go to the legendary arena. Again, don't switch between changes and between decks. Don't switch between decks, that will definitely not help you. Make sure you select one deck, and that should be pretty good to go. So yeah, those are pretty much it. You definitely will be needing higher level cards in order to get to the legendary arena, something that I actually have told a lot, and it is really important to have a decent level card when you're actually coming up to the legendary arena, because you're gonna find out other opponents and much stronger opponents definitely gonna put you in trouble. So better take those decent high level cards in your card collection, in your deck, to make sure you're really reaching up the legendary arena. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you reach up the legendary arena. Good luck on that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe to the channel for Clash of Clans or Clash Royale content. And yeah, thank you so much for watching till the very end. I'm Ayrus, and I'll be seeing you next time. Until then, goodbye.